I mean, if you had an 18-year-old son, would you send him to me on his 18th birthday?
No.
Okay, so your son will probably lose his virginity after going to a club. He's probably been drinking. The girl might have done drugs. They then go back to some hotel or parents' house.
I don't think
whatever.
I'm raising him that way.
Okay, but regardless.
What about if he falls in love and loses his virginity to someone he loves?
And what if the world becomes a really happy place? It's unrealistic. When people lose their virginity, it's probably after a night out.
So it's more realistic I send my son to you.
So this is important too. She's basically saying, would you send your son? Would you send your 18-year-old son to me to kind of, intro him to the sexual world? No, the answer is no. The answer is flat out no. She has a very dark, and I'm using Bonnie Blue Bonnie Blue is just a symptom. I think Andrew uses that word as well at some point. She is a symptom. She is a manifestation of the feminist garbage that we talk about every day. And I want you to get a look. The reason I covered this is because I need you to see her mind. Because again, her mind is the same as the girl you hooked up with last week that slept with, 30 guys this year and gets offended if you ask for her body count. It's the same girl. It's the same mind. It's the same chip. It's the same programming. It's the same. And I want you to see their view of the world. Dark, dim. It's ridiculous that you would think you would lose your virginity to someone you love. That's just not the way of the world. Bonnie, I hate to break it to you, but you could change that. Audience, you can change that. You can make a decision as a man, for example, to not entertain a girl that doesn't deserve your time. Instead, you can go to the gym. You can get a second job. You can earn, an extra $1,000 this week and be in shape. You have the power to make that decision. You can, as a husband, if your wife's pulling some nonsense in the house, you can, or not withholding sex or whatever it may be, you can say, honey, this isn't going to work. This isn't going to work for me. So what's it going to be? You have power. Ladies, you have power. You have power to say, you know what? I know I'm being told it's empowering to sleep with a bunch of people, but it doesn't feel good and I'm not doing it. So this idea that, well, you know what? Everything's just ruined anyway. So I may as well just, take an 18-year-old and, inculcate him into nasty corn like stuff because, the world's going to shit anyway. No, that's how dark her mind is, because that is the way women begin to see when they dissociate from emotion and when they turn into a pre-programmed vacant robot by virtue of sleeping with everything that walks. That's not exclusive to Bonnie. Again, there's a lot of 304s out there that aren't making money and they're just doing it for free at the club. Same dissociation, same personality. I'm going to say it over and over again because you will see this emptiness, this darkness, this vacancy in those girls as well. Look for it. You'll see it. So Bonnie, I hate to say it, but you have a choice. You can, the way that it changes and the way that people start having sex for the first time and have it have meaning is that you raise your children differently. You stop thinking, well, I'm just going to, let me just pile on. Oh, the world's falling apart. Let me just throw my trash on the pile too. It doesn't work like that. I mean, if you want to trash society, it does. But every single person has the power to make it different by your choices. So, the same way Andrew's saying, well, my daughter's not going to wind up like you. How do you think that's going to happen? He's not going to wave a magic wand. He's going to parent. He's going to parent differently. And if you parent your sons, we often talk about parenting. Parent your sons to say, you know what? Don't lose your virginity in some crap way. Don't do that with some woman that you later in life are like, oh, I can't believe I did. Ooh, who had slept with somebody else the night before and somebody else the night after you. Teach him differently and he'll do differently.
On your son's 18th birthday, I'll be stood on the driveway with a balloon and a happy birthday card. I'll take his virginity, but I'll take him to a safe, controlled environment. I'm not going to cry rape the next day. I'm STD tested. I can educate him on a body. So the next girl he sleeps with, because if that's the girl he falls in love with, she's going to want a good shag. She's going to want to be pleasured. She's want to walk away from him and go, that was good. Yeah, I want to see him again. I want to stay loyal to him because he was amazing in the bedroom.
Rob, you should do it.
Do you really believe this?
Rob, do it.
Okay. She actually she actually thinks that a woman would thank her. Can you imagine? I mean, this is how detached from just morality she is. She actually thinks that a woman is going to say, oh, sleep with a guy, right? And be like, find out that he went and slept with Bonnie Blue, who has no standards, who literally has an open door policy for every in town, right? She thinks that woman is going to say, oh, I'm so glad you went and got help from Bonnie Blue. Oh, that's amazing. Oh, you performed so well. Thank you. That's not how it's going to work, Bonnie, if he meets any woman with any degree of standards or morality. It just doesn't work that way, honey. You know, that woman will be so horrified. First of all, she'll be like, oh my God, I needed to get tested for everything, right? She's saying, oh, I'm STD tested. You know, sure, honey. Okay. Secondly, how gross will she think of that guy, that guy was so like, lacked such confidence and self-esteem that he was like, I need to go get a lesson from Bonnie Blue. Thirdly, she's going to be thinking, well, what did they do? Because Bonnie Blue's willing to do anything. So now is there an expectation on me that I would have to be vulgar, like this vulgar, you know, basically bringing the corn to life? There would be so many red flags in that girl's head that she would never, a good girl would never be able to look at him again, ever. I would have never been able to look at a man again if he had went to Bonnie Blue to get a lesson. I'd rather have a guy that needs to learn a little bit, honestly, than one who's seasoned from Bonnie Blue. Oh, God. I mean, she is so detached. She doesn't understand. She may understand men in some capacity. She does not understand women. Good quality women who would never do what she does. Doesn't get it. But I want you to see that again, because neither does the girl that maybe you hooked up with at the club. She also doesn't get the good girl. It's the same person. Again, can't say it enough.